students, welcome back to the online EGDL classes. Let us recollect what was done in the last video. In the last video I have explained you how to represent the position of a point with reference to VP and HP. And not only that, you have also learnt about the quadrants. When you are given the projections of a point, how to know in which quadrant the point lies, first, second, third or fourth. So this is what was taught to you in the last video. This is with reference to the projection of points. So today's class we are going to do drawing number 2, which also deals with projection of points. So these questions what I am going to take up today are from the question bank, CMRIT question bank. So today's class, this is the first problem that I have taken. We are in projection of points. The drawing number is 2. This is the problem number. This 2.1.1 is the problem number from the CMRIT question bank, and 49 is the question number from VTU question bank. Okay, so both the numbers are given here. Before I move to this problem, let us go back once again about the quadrants. So I have represented the quadrants here, first, second, third and fourth quadrants. So we imagined that the space is divided into 4 quadrants by means of 2 planes. Let us say you have a vertical plane here and this is the horizontal plane. So we imagine that the space is divided into 4 quadrants using a vertical plane and a horizontal plane. Now, you have learned, suppose if there is a point in first quadrant, what is its position with reference to VP and HP you have learned. You had HP here and you have VP here. The position of the observer is always on the top right. Okay? Right for getting the front view, top for getting the top view. So if there is a point in first quadrant, we said the point is above HP and in front of VP. Similarly, if there is a point in second quadrant, we said it is behind VP and above HP. Similarly, when it is in third quadrant, it is behind VP and below HP. Fourth quadrant, below HP and in front of VP. So this was taught to you in the last video itself. Now suppose if you have a point on VP here, what is its position in which quadrant do you consider it? What is the position of the point? The point is above HP and on VP. Suppose if this is XY line, on VP and above HP, how do you represent? If it is point A dash and A. This is how you represent on VP and above HP. Okay. So in which quadrant is the point? Okay. You can say the point is both in first and second quadrants. You can say the point A is in first as well as second quadrant, first and second quadrants, because it is exactly on the partition. It is exactly on the partition, so we can say it is in first as well as second quadrants. Similarly, let us say if we have a point here, let us say point B. What is its position with reference to VP and HP? The observer is here, so we say the point is behind VP and it is on HP. This is the horizontal plane. So how do you represent behind VP and on HP on XY line? This is behind VP on HP. Okay. So when you have a point behind VP and on HP, you can say the point is in second as well as third quadrants, because again it is there on the partition. Okay. So behind VP and on HP can be considered as second as well as third quadrants. So this was not told to you in the last class. That is why I just made a revision of that. Now let us come to the first problem. First problem of drawing number 2. Let me read out the problem for you. Draw the projections of the following points on the same XY line, keeping convenient distance between each projector. Also state the quadrants in which they lie. You are given 4 points. You are asked to draw their projections on XY line. You can use the common XY line, and then you have to draw their projections, and also you must take their positions in which quadrant they lie. So let me draw an XY line. A common XY line I will draw for all the 4 points. As I was mentioning already, this XY line should be drawn using thin line. So when you draw it on your sketchbook, it should be a light line. So when you draw the XY line, as I already mentioned in the sketchbook, it is a graph sheet on one side. So when you draw this line, you can draw this line coinciding with one of the lines that are existing there on the graph sheet. I don't want you to draw in between 2 lines. Suppose if this is a graph sheet, you have vertical lines and horizontal lines. You can draw your XY line coinciding with the line that is available there. Okay. Okay. Now let us take the point P. Point P is 25 mm above HP, 35 mm in front of VP. So you are given the distance from HP as well as VP. Now above HP, so we take the front view above XY line. Okay. So it is point P. I will represent front view of point P. So this is the point which should be shown dominating. This projector should be drawn perpendicular to XY, and it should be a light line. So point P is 25 mm above HP. I will dimension it once I finish drawing the projections. 35 mm in front of VP. So when I say in front of VP, the top view should come below XY line, and it is 35. So just extend it down, and this should be top view. Okay. Make sure P and P dash lie on the same projector. Now let us draw the dimensions. This is the dimension line. This should be 25, and this is 35. When you write dimension, you should write like this, 25 and 35. You have already learnt about dimensioning. The dimension line should be a thin line. It should be parallel to the main line, and make sure that you maintain a gap of 5 mm in between, a minimum gap of 5 mm. So this is about the point P. Can you tell me in which quadrant the point lies? Can you pause the video and just imagine in which quadrant the point lies? Point P is in front of VP and above HP. So it should be lying in the first quadrant. This is first. I repeat again, point P is in front of VP, and also it is above HP. In front of VP and above HP is first quadrant. So this is about point P. Now let us move to the point Q. In case you are getting any doubts, you can rewind the video and see once again. That's how you learn. Okay? Please rewind whenever you get some doubt. Now let us move to point Q. Q is 30 mm above HP and 40 mm in front of VP. So let me represent the front view first. The front view is represented as a distance from HP, 30 mm above HP. Now, when you draw the next projector, you said it is given that you can make keeping convenient distance between each projector. So any convenient distance you can take, the distance from projector P to the projector Q, and then draw the projector for Q. It is 30 mm above HP. So I am drawing the front view of Q here, Q dash. This distance is 30. So you can use your scale and draw it 30 mm and also 40 mm in front of VP. So we are projecting this down. This distance is 40. This is top view. So the distances are 35 and 40. This is 35 and this is 40. So this is about the projectors. Now can you imagine in which quadrant the point lies? Point Q is in front of VP and it is above HP. Yeah, it is the same thing. So it is again in the first quadrant only. I think let us slightly change this. It is not in front, I think. It should be behind. To make it second quadrant, let me change the problem to 40 mm behind VP. Okay. So let me change the projectors now. Point Q is 30 mm above HP and 40 mm behind VP. So it should be like this. Q dash and Q. This is 30 mm above HP and this is 40 mm behind VP. As soon as they lie on the same side of XY, you know that it is in second quadrant. Okay, point Q is above HP and it is behind VP. So this is second quadrant. Let us move to third point, 40 mm above HP and on VP. So point R, so this is top view of R on HP. So front view should come on XY line. This should be 40. I read it again. Point R is 40 mm behind VP and on HP. Behind VP and on HP. This is the location. Okay. It is behind VP and it is lying on horizontal plane. So it could be second and third. Second as well as third quadrants. It's exactly this location which I have mentioned. It is behind VP and on HP. It is lying on the horizontal plane. Now the last point, point S, 35 mm below HP and 30 mm in front of VP. 35 mm below HP, so that is S dash, 30 mm in front of VP. Yes, this is 30, 35 mm below HP. So as soon as you see both the top and front views are lying on the same XY line, on the same side of XY line, and they are below XY line, this is fourth quadrant. The point is in front of VP and below HP. So this is fourth quadrant. in front of VP and below HP is the fourth quadrant. So that is about the problem number 1 of drawing number 2. So once you finish doing this, I want you to make statements like this. For example, P is in first quadrant. You have to make a statement. P, first quadrant. Please don't write like this, what I have written here. You have to write statements like that. Similarly, Q, second quadrant. R, second and third quadrants. And then S, fourth quadrant. So you need to make statements like this. Even when you do it in the system, you have to make statements like this. Whenever you are asked to find out something, you need to make statements. They will carry weightage. Okay. You are asked to find in which quadrant the point lies. So we have written the statements here. That completes the first problem of drawing number 2. I'll come back with the second problem. Okay students, let us move to the second problem of drawing number 2. The problem number is 2.1.2 and the reference number from the VTU primary is 14. The problem goes like this. There is a point P which is on HP and 30 mm in front of VP. You know how to draw its projections. The point P is on HP and 30 mm in front of VP. And also there is another point Q that is on VP and 40 mm above HP. Then you are given the distance between their projectors as 50 mm. The distance between the projectors is measured parallel to XY line and it is measured as 50 mm. You are asked to find the distance between the top and front views of P and Q. This is the problem. So let us start by drawing XY line first to solve this problem. Say this is XY line. As I already mentioned to you, we don't write VP and HP for XY line here since we discussed the position of a point in all the 4 quadrants. So let us not write anything here, just XY line, that's it. Now let me represent the point P. The point P is on HP and 30 mm in front of VP. So when I say on HP, I represent the front view. This is P dash. 30 mm in front of VP. So the top view should come below XY. This is top view of P and this distance is given as 30. This is about point P. Now the other point Q. If I have to draw the projection for the point Q, I should know the distance between the projectors. That is given to you. Distance between the projectors measured parallel to XY line is 50. So from here, I take a distance of 50 mm, mark a point there, and then you can draw the projector for Q there. And what is the position of Q? It is on VP, so I can represent the top view of Q here. And 40 mm above HP. So from here you can draw a line equal to 40 mm and you can represent that point as Q dash, front view of Q. Okay, and this distance is measured parallel to XY line and that is 50. Okay, this is the distance between the projectors measured parallel to XY line. Now there is a reason why I have taken this 50 here. Okay, when you do some construction, okay, the dimension line shouldn't interfere with the construction. That's very important. Okay, I am going to draw some lines here in this area. So I wanted the dimension line to be moved away. So I had to draw these extension lines. These are the extension lines which are used here, and then the dimension line is drawn exactly parallel to XY line 50. So this dimensioning is very important. Now what is this? This is front view of P, this is front view of Q. You are asked to measure the distance between them. So just connect them by a line, and you have to measure this distance. Okay. Now when you use the software and solve it in the lab, then this distance P dash Q dash, it should come to 64.03. When I say 64.03, you must get 64.03. Manually when you do it, you can't get to that accuracy. It could be 64, it could be 63, 62 is also accepted. Around 2 mm error can be accepted manually. Okay, so but I am mentioning it as 64.03 here, so that when you go back to the lab with your sketchbook, you can verify this value in the lab. Okay, so I am going to dimension this. These are extension lines. These extension lines should be drawn perpendicular to this line, and I will represent the dimension here, and I will write it as 64.03. So this is a reference for you when you go to the lab or when you practice in your system. You should get it as 64.03. Similarly, you can connect the top views as well. This is top view of Q, this is top view of P. Connect them once again using a line. Okay, this line, these two lines can be thin lines. Okay, these two lines can be thin lines, and then measure that. This is an extension line, this is also an extension line. How do you draw extension lines? The extension line should be drawn perpendicular to this line. So you can put your protractor here, mark 90 degrees, draw this line. Again, keep your protractor here, mark 90 degrees and draw this line. So you got two extension lines. Now you can draw the dimension line. And this distance PQ should come to 58.31. You don't have to write mm there. The dimensions are always in mm. Okay. So just write 58.31 and leave it. Because you are asked to measure the distances, maybe you can also state here P dash Q dash is equal to 64.03 mm. When you write the statement, you should write the dimension, but not when you use the dimension line here. Similarly, PQ is equal to 58.31 millimeters. You are asked to measure them, so you are also giving the statements. That's about this problem. Okay, it's a simple problem, but what you should take care about is what are the lines that should be drawn thin, what are the lines that should be drawn thick here. All the lines are thin lines here except only these points. P dash Q dash should be shown dark. Similarly, P and Q should be shown dark. All the remaining lines can be made light here, okay, including XY line. Now I'll come back for the third problem. That will be the last problem of drawing number 2. Okay students, let us move to the third problem of drawing number 2. The problem goes like this. The problem number is 2.1.3 from your question bank, and the VTU question bank, the reference number is 15. A point P is 30 mm in front of VP, 40 mm above HP and 50 mm from right profile plane. So far we have not discussed about the position of a point with reference to profile plane. But in my first video, when I started with orthographic projection, we have discussed what is right profile plane and what is left profile plane. Okay. So in a room, if you take the front wall as vertical plane, the ground as horizontal plane, and the right wall can be taken as right profile plane, the left wall can be taken as left profile plane. Now how to draw the projections of a point with reference to the profile plane is what we are going to see now. Okay. Before we move to the profile plane, let us draw the projections of the point with reference to VP and HP first. Now this is my XY line. There is a point P 30 mm in front of VP. So this distance is 30. This should be top view. Let me represent this distance 30 mm. 30 mm in front of VP. So I must represent the top view below XY. And also it is 40 mm above HP. The same projector I should continue and take the distance 40 now. This should be front view. This is P dash. It's always better to draw the dimension lines along the same line. Okay, that gives a better look. Instead of drawing them as two different lines, instead of offsetting them, it's better you continue in the same line. Gives a better look. 40 mm above HP, 30 mm in front of VP. This much you can do with the knowledge that you have gained so far. Now let us see how to draw the profile view. When you are given the position of the profile view, the distance may be given either from the right profile plane or from the left profile plane. Now, when it is a VP, we use the terms with reference to VP. If this is a vertical plane, we use the terms in front of VP, behind VP and on VP. Similarly, when it is HP, you use the terms above HP, below HP and on HP. Then when it is a profile plane like this, what terms can you use? It is also similar to vertical plane. So with reference to profile plane also, you can use the terms in front of the profile plane, behind the profile plane and on the profile plane. If it is on the right side, we call it right profile plane. If it is on the left side, you call it left profile plane. Sometimes instead of using in front of or behind, sometimes from is used. Okay, here from is used. 50 mm from right profile plane. So irrespective of whether it is behind, in front of or from, what is important to me is whether it is RPP or LPP. That is what is important to me. So forget about whether it is in front of or behind or from. It's not important for me. So because it is right profile plane and since the distance is 50 mm, from this projector I measure a distance of 50 mm towards right and then draw a line there. What is that line? See, this is, let me show here to you. I'll take a book, okay. Let us say, it's okay, like this. I am showing you VP and right profile plane, two mutually perpendicular plane. This is VP, this is your right profile plane. There is a line which is common to both VP and right profile plane, the line of intersection. Okay. Now, that line we represent as X1 Y1 line. It is represented as X1 Y1 line. If you want to bring the right profile plane also into the plane of VP, what you have to do? You just rotate it by 90 degrees so that the right profile plane is also brought into the plane of vertical plane. So here you have that line, the line which is common to VP and right profile plane. We call it as X1 Y1 line. That is the line which I am going to draw now. Okay. we call it as x1, y1. The distance has to be 50 mm. So mark a point here after taking 50 mm. Then you draw that line and call it as x1, y1 in capitals. x1, y1. And measure this distance. It should be 50. Yes. Now let me tell you how to get the profile view of the point. How do you represent profile view? P double dash. When it is double dash, it will give you the profile view. Now, is it the right profile view or left profile view? It depends on the method of projection that you are following. If you are following first angle projection, you get the right view on the left and left view on the right, opposite. Okay. If you are following third angle projection, the right view comes on the right of the front view and left view comes on the left of the front view. So, whether it is a right profile plane or left profile plane, we represent it as P double dash only. There are no separate terms for left view and right view. It's the same term, P double dash, that's all. So let us see how to get the profile view of the point P. This is the procedure. Now once you draw this line, there is an intersection point of xy and x1, y1. Locate that. At that point, you have to draw a line inclined at 45 degrees to xy line. Now, where should you draw? There are 4 possibilities. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Drawing 45 degree line. Why the line has to be 45 degree, I will explain you. Just wait for a minute. Now, where to draw 45 degrees line is the question now. Locate where you have the top view. This is the top view of P. The top view of P is found below xy. So 45 degree line also will be drawn below xy. This is 45. And it should be drawn beyond x1, y1 line. It shouldn't be drawn this side, within x1, y1. Okay? So when I say beyond x1, y1 line, these 2 possibilities are ruled out. You are left with 2 more possibilities, either this or this 45 degree line. But what did I say? Locate where you have the top view. If the top view is found below xy line, draw the 45 degree line also below xy line. If it is found above xy line, I would have drawn it here. Done. So 45 degree line is drawn. This is a construction line, so it must be drawn as a thin line. Once you do that, go to the top view and draw its locus. When I say locus, starting from P, draw a line parallel to xy line. Okay? This is also a construction line, so it will be drawn thin. You are moving in this direction. Let me show the direction also by an arrowhead. So this locus will go and intersect the 45 degree line at some point. Mark that point, and there you draw a perpendicular to xy. This is also a thin line. I am showing the direction also here. Done. And then what is to be done? Go to the front view. From the front view, draw a line or draw its locus. Draw a line parallel to xy line. This is its locus. Where are the perpendicular drawn and this locus intersects? This is the direction. That is where you get the profile view, P double dash. Okay. So let me repeat the procedure once again. What did we do? First, we have located the top view and front view here. Then, regarding the profile view, you are given that the point is 50 mm from the right profile plane. For that reason, from the projector, I took a distance of 50 mm towards right. Had it been left profile plane, I would have taken distance towards left. Okay. So I have planned it in the beginning only. I have made this projector in such a way that I have space on the right side. Because I know it is right profile plane, I know that I need some space on the right. Okay. Had it been left profile plane, I would have started somewhere here I would have left some space on the left. Okay, so you should plan your space, that's also important. Now once you draw x1 y1 line at a distance of 50 mm, mark the intersection point of xy and x1 y1, and then I asked you to draw a line inclined at 45 degrees. I will come to the reason why it has to be 45 degrees. Okay, then after drawing the 45 degree line, you have gone to the top view. Go to the top view, draw its locus. Locus in the sense, draw a line parallel to xy line to intersect the 45 degree line at a point. Mark that point. There you drop a perpendicular, and then go to the front view and draw its locus. Wherever the perpendicular drawn and the locus of P dash intersect, you get the profile view of the point P. It's a simple procedure. So any problem, in any problem we have to get the profile view. This is the procedure. It's a simple procedure. Now the only thing what you should know here is why this procedure is adopted. What is the reason behind it? Drawing the problem is quite simple, but why this procedure has to be adopted like this to get the profile view, let me explain to you. Okay students, let us see why this procedure is adopted to get the profile view of a point. Let me show you VP and RPP like this. So you can consider this to be VP and this as right profile plane. They are mutually perpendicular to each other. Now this is your XY line, this is your X1 Y1 line. Okay, so if you bring this right profile plane also into the plane of the VP, what you do is you rotate it by 90 degrees so that the right profile plane is also brought into the plane of the vertical plane. Now see, when it is like this, this is your XY line. This also becomes XY line after rotation. Okay, this line will also be an XY line after rotation because it coincides with XY line, and this is your X1 Y1 line. Okay, now having that in your mind, now let me take a point here. Let us say there is a point in VP. In space you have a point here at a certain distance in front of VP. This point. Okay. Now concentrate on this distance. This is the distance from VP you have. This is the actual point in space. I am projecting it onto the right profile plane so that I get the profile view here. I got the profile view on the right profile plane. Now look at the distances. This is the distance of the point from VP and this is the distance of the profile view from X1 Y1 line. Okay, I will repeat again. This is the actual point in space. I wanted to get its profile view. So what did I do? I have projected it onto the right profile plane. I got the profile view there. Now concentrate on two distances. One is the distance of the point from VP and the other is the distance of the profile view from X1 Y1 line. They should be equal, is it not? Because this line when you are drawing it parallel to VP. So my statement is this: distance of the point from VP is equal to distance of the profile view from X1 Y1 line. Okay, is that understood? The same statement I have written here. Distance of a point from VP is equal to distance of profile view from X1 Y1 line. Okay, now there is another point which is also required for this discussion. Once again, let me take the right profile plane and VP. Now when I take two mutually perpendicular planes, I can treat HP to be here. Okay, HP is somewhere here. This is another plane. So all the three planes are mutually perpendicular to each other. This is your HP. Now I am considering a point at certain distance from HP. there is a point at a certain distance from HP. This point again you are projecting onto the right profile plane. You got the right profile plane there, the profile view there. Now look at these two distances. One distance is distance of the point from HP, that is one distance, and the second is distance of the profile view from XY line. This is also XY line. Okay, so they should be equal. Let me tell you once again. Distance of a point from HP should be equal to distance of the profile view from XY line. So if you have understood that, let me show you the statement here. Distance of a point from HP is equal to distance of the profile view from XY line. So these two statements you should understand if you have to understand this procedure. If you have to understand why this procedure is adopted. The procedure is quite simple, as I told you, but if you probe into it, why this procedure is adopted, you must have a concept of these two statements. You should understand these two statements. Once you understand those two statements, then understanding this is not a problem at all. Now, what you would like to know is why we have drawn a parallel line here, why we have drawn a 45-degree line here, why the perpendicular is drawn, then why a parallel line is drawn here is the question now. Why this procedure is adopted to get the profile view. Now, let me concentrate on this statement first. This statement will give you some clarity, and with this statement, the discussion is complete. So, what is this statement? Distance of a point from VP. This is the distance of the point from VP, 30 mm in front of VP. Point P is 30 mm in front of VP. So I have put one dash here, see, single dash. Okay. This distance, the statement says, is equal to distance of the profile view from x1, y1. Where is the profile view? This is the profile view. And what is its distance from x1, y1? This is your x1, y1 line. This is the distance. Okay, I have put one dash here, see, single dash. So as per the statement, this distance should be equal to this distance. You can see the single dash. That is what the statement says. Distance of the point from VP is equal to distance of the profile view from x1, y1. So these two should be equal. Now this distance and this distance are the same, is it not? Because this is a perpendicular. Now this distance and this distance are the same. So I have put a dash here, single dash. So as per the statement, these two distances should be equal. If they have to be equal, then I have to draw a 45-degree line only here. Only when this line is 45-degree line, these two distances can be made equal. Alternatively, what you can do is you can use a compass also. Take this point as center, using a compass, this as radius, you can also draw an arc, so that this distance is made equal to this distance. That is an alternative method of doing it, drawing the arc. That is the reason why this is made 45 degrees. If it is made as 30 degrees or 60 degrees, the distances cannot be made equal. So the statement says this distance should be equal to this. When these two are equal, this should be equal to this. If these two have to be made equal, this has to be 45 degrees. So this part is done. Okay, you must accept now why this procedure is adopted. Now the only thing that is left is these two distances. Why this has to be made drawn parallel to xy? Why can't I make it inclined? The second statement will help you to clear that. The second statement says distance of a point from HP. This is the distance of the point from HP. The point P is 40 mm above HP. That should be equal to distance of the profile view from XY. This is the distance of the profile view from XY, or this. This is the profile view. This is its distance from XY. The statement says both should be equal. I have made double dash here, see. So if they have to be made equal, then I must make this parallel to XY. Okay. So much is involved in it. Though the procedure appears quite simple, okay, there is a logic behind that, why that procedure is adopted. Okay. So this is a very important concept while drawing the profile view. Making use of these two statements, I have adopted this procedure and got the profile view. Okay. So with that we complete drawing number 2. Drawing number 3 is assignment for you. Okay. You are expected to submit these things as assignments. As I already mentioned to you, the sketching part has to be submitted as assignment. Once the Google Classroom is formed, I think we will let you know when the Google Classroom is formed. You will be submitting the assignment, or you will be uploading your assignments to the Google Classroom. Okay. So that finishes this video, students. I will come back with the next video, that is projection of straight lines.